Sukui Anade. Welcome back to Mando'a Lessons, and today I just wanted to discuss a very small but significant detail that has recently been changed in Star Wars of the Old Republic. So as many people may have seen, any of the players, there is a flag with Mando'a characters on it in the game. And it used the new Disney canon font that can be seen in Rebels and in The Mandalorian. Now, to start, this flag was only written with the characters in English, not in Mando'a. But just recently, it has been updated to actually include the Mando'a language. This marks the first official recognition of the language since Rebels, not including that horrendous bit from the certain point of view Empire Strikes Back. So you can imagine how excited I am about this. Hopefully with the newer updates coming to SWTOR, we might even see more. So let's actually look at this flag now and see what it says. So the flag here on the left shows it in English. Only the strongest shall rule. And this is referencing Pre Vizsla's final words. The Mando'a version says, Shi Kotishne Alori, which is literally only strongest rule. So there are a few things I want to discuss about this. First off, Shi is fine, no problems there. But secondly, when I first saw Kotishne, I was immediately taken aback because there were two word endings on it, the adjective ending ish and the superlative ne. And this looked just wrong to me because in the dictionary there aren't any words that have such a combination, at least, that I can remember. So I thought that, it's a simple mistake. But then I was looking through Legacy of the Force Bloodlines for an entirely unrelated reason, but at chapter 14, I saw at the top, there's a quote, and it's in Mando'a, and it's Ke barjuari garade, jagish ade kotla, adalish ade kotla shia. And it can be seen here that kotla shia has the adjective ending la and the comparative ending shia. So, while to me it seems a bit off, it isn't technically wrong to have those two endings, and that's partly by Karen Travis's design, as she wanted people to be able to express the words how they see fit without being entirely ungrammatical. And this is a side effect of KT's lack of planning when it came to Mando'a. So she kind of covers her tracks by saying, oh, anything's allowed, basically. And it's a problem that for now, unfortunately, we have to live with. It's related to not just grammar, but pronunciation, spelling, and everything. But hopefully we can make a more clear system for our own use in the future. But anyway, moving on to the last word here. It says alori, which means rule. However, the original phrase says shall rule. Now, in Mando'a, such subtle differences aren't always entirely necessary, and it not being included here isn't detrimental by any means. That being said, shall expresses a mood that changes the meaning ever so slightly, so a more accurate translation would include that change to the mood. Fortunately, we do have a way of doing so, though unfortunately, it isn't very clearly defined. There are a few grammatical moods present in Mando'a, shall being one of them. However, it only appears in just two instances. Jorsoran, which means shall bear from the Alcaic Mando'a, and Dralsheran, shall burn from the Concordian dialect. This makes the suffix ran appear to be the shall suffix. To apply this to alor, it may be aloran or perhaps alursoran. Because it isn't clearly defined in the dictionary, we don't know exactly how it should interact with the base word. However, given that Josoran comes from Jorir, we can infer that since alur and jor have a similar end, that allure would also have the so. We don't know if the so has meaning or is simply a pronunciation assistance, but it's there anyway. So because of the use of shall not being clearly defined, I don't fault them for not using it, even if it might produce a more accurate translation, as the original has a slightly different mood. The difference is only the strongest do rule and only the strongest shall rule, or shall basically means should. So, it's a slight difference, but it's not entirely necessary. Anyway, I'm very happy to see that Mando'a has been recognized, and thank you to Charles Boyd, the creative director at SWTOR, because I know it was him. And, even though it kind of threw me for a loop with the wording there at the beginning, I found that there are examples of how it's used that way, and, I hope to see more Mando'a in the future. Hopefully more in SWTOR, and hopefully more in the shows, But, yeah, that's all I have for you today. Retour chez me.